Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum Puan Jufiza. My name is Danish Haiqal and representing Syed Hafiz, Yusman, Hakim and Iskanddar. And we'll be talking about simple interest and compound interest. So what is simple interest? Simple interest is the interest calculated on the original amount of money that invested or borrowed from the entire period. The three items that must be considered when calculating interest are the principal, rate of interest, and the time of investment or loan. The amount of money invested or borrowed is called the principal. The rate of interest is the percentage of the principal that is returned as interest. The rate of interest is usually given as a percentage. Time refers to the period of time in years that the principal is invested or borrowed. Why does simple interest matter? Simple interest is easier or generate and comprehends rather than compound interest. And when are the simple interest applicable? Simple interest a percentage of application. Understanding the concept of simple interest is not only necessary for solving problems in classes, but it's also necessary for ability to manage your fund. The key term in simple interest. Simple interest is based on the principal amount of a loan or the first deposit in saving account. Simple interest does not compound. Therefore, an account holder will only get interest on the principal and borrowed will never have to pay interest on previously accumulated interest. Now I will be passing to Yusman Hakim.
Thank you, Danish Haiqal. So my part is about simple interest formula. I equal PRT. The word stand for I stand for simple interest. P stand for principal. R rate of simple interest. T period of investment. So next slide is projecting the formula of simple interest. Simple interest calculation. Example, interest in its most simple form is calculated as a percent of the principal. For example, if you borrow 100 from a friend and agree to repay it with 5% interest, then the amount of interest you have to pay will be 5 interest. So the total is 5 ringgit you must pay to your friend. So next, problem solving for simple interest. We can look at the problem statement. P is 10,000. R is 5%, T is 18 months. B, calculate the amount of interest charge. You can put all the amount at the words stand for what, and the all amount you can get 750 ringgit. C, calculate the amount their Maisara has to pay at the end of 18 months. So you take original amount plus interest. So all the amount you can get 10,750 ringgit. Conclusion of simple interest. Simple interest is a straightforward tool for calculating the amount of interest earned or paid on a given principal amount over a specific time period. The effect of compounding is not taken into account. The process of earning interest on principal plus interest amount in previously. So I pass to my friend, Syed Hafiz.
Thank you, Yusman. Next, my point is about compound interest. What is compound interest? The compound interest known as a compounding interest in the interest on a loan or deposit that is using both the original principal and the interest earned over time. Compound interest, which is considered to have originated in 17th century Italy. This interest on interest and will cause a sum to increase at a quicker pace than simple interest, which is computed simply on the main amount. Compound interest accrues at a rate determined by the frequency of compounding, with the highest the number of compounding period. The bigger the compounding interest, thus the amount of compound interest earned on $100 compounded at 10% yearly will be less than the amount earned on a $100 compounded at 5% semi-annually during the same time period. The interest on interest effect is frequently referred to as the wonder of compound interest, since it may provide more positive return based on the original principal amount. So the compound interest are equal to compound amount minus original principal, like equal S minus P. Next, is why does compound interest matter? Compound interest received on money already earned as interest. Compound interest increase interest and compound balance. Next, is beneficial for saving and investment, but might work against you when it come to paying interest on a loan. Compound interest is powerful because of its frequency, period, interest rate, deposit, and beginning amount. Next, how does compound interest work? To grasp the idea of compound interest, first grasp the concept of the simple interest. You put money in the bank and the bank gives you interest. A saving account, for example, might pay interest once a month, but compound it every day. The bank calculate your interest earning each day based on your account balance plus any interest you ever earn but haven't been paid out. The greater the interest rate of an account and the more frequently it is compounded, the more interest you will receive over a certain time period. To demonstrate how compounding works, we have provided the compounding interest calculation as well as a few instances of how compounding affect profit below. Next is the key term in compound interest. Interest, this is how much interest you earn or how much interest you owe. The more money you make or own, the greater the interest rate. Starting principle, how much money do you have to begin with? What have the size of your loan? While compounding accumulate over time. It is entirely predicted on the original investment or borrowing amount. Frequency of compounding, how quickly a balance rise is determined by the rate at which interest is compounded daily, monthly, or yearly. Make sure you understand how often interest accumulate before taking out a loan or taking a savings account. The duration, how long will the retain an account or repay a loan? The longer you leave money in a savings account or retain a debt, the more it will compound and earn or own. Deposit and withdrawal, do you plan to deposit money into your account on a regular basis? Do you plan to deposit money into your account on a regular basis? In the long term, to the rate at which you build up your main debt or pay off your loan make a huge impact. Compound formula interest, the interest formula continue the process above. We get S equal to P bracket 1 plus I bracket N. Therefore, compound interest I equal to S minus P. By the way, rate per interest period I equal to K equal to annual interest rate K, M equal to frequency M. Next is projecting the formula of the compound interest. The compound interest calculation example, the compound interest is computed by multiply the initial principal amount by 1 and then multiplying the yearly interest rate by the number of compound period minus 1. For example, if you have RM 2000, loan with rate of interest is 2% semi-annual, it will generate more interest than the same loan amount that is compounded at 4% annually. Next, I will give to Iskanddar.
Okay. Here is problem statement for compound interest. Okay. The statement is, I want to out a 6 years loan for RM 20,000 ringgit with rate of 6% semi-annually. Okay, the question is, state the value P, K, M, and T based on the information gives. Okay, B, calculate the amount Aiman has to pay after 6 years. And C, calculate the total interest charge. Okay, the problem solving. A, P is RM 20,000. K is 6% or 0.06. Okay, M is 2, and the 20,000 bracket 1 plus 0.06 over 2 bracket the power of 12. Okay, equal to 20,000 bracket 1.42576. The answer is 28,505 and 21. Okay, see, 28,505 and 21 minus 20,000, and the answer is 8,505.21. Okay, next, conclusion. Compound interest is time related. Though the rate of return remains constant, the power of compounding grows as the time factor increase. Okay, the last, understanding how the return is calculated and the formula being used. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.